Miriam's Mother by Rex McGregor. Setting, a bank of the Nile. Time, Egypt's 19th dynasty.
She's bringing him.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, none of that.
All right, I'll keep my faith to myself.
You can be as religious as you like. Just don't look so blasted happy.
Can't help it. I'm about to hold my baby in my arms again.
Ma, he's only been gone for an hour.
It feels like a lifetime. At his age, it nearly is.
Calm down. If the princess discovers you're his mother, you may never see him again.
Don't say that, Miriam. Please tell me you're not predicting disaster.
I never predict anything.
When we put the basket in the water, you said Pharaoh's daughter would find it, and she did.
Because we were 50 yards upriver, the Nile flows in a consistent direction, and the princess always bathes in the same spot once a month on this very day.
Oh, don't be modest, my dear. You knew.
It's called research.
You foretold she'll hire me as his wet nurse, and she's on her way.
Because I mentioned you have milk.
Well, some of her women must be lactating too. But you correctly picked that she'd pick me.
I did my homework. All her handmaidens are virgins.
In theory.
She conducts regular physical checks.
I've worked for worse bosses.
You don't have the job yet. You need to pass her inspection.
Inspection? I hope she isn't looking for an intact hymen.
She's looking for a professional attitude. She won't hand her precious bundle to someone who she thinks will become too attached.
Ah.
So don't gush and coo over my little brother the way you always do.
I won't show any trace of emotion.
Pretend you've lost a child and you're ready to breastfeed someone else's.
Out of compassion.
For financial gain. Focus on the money and your motive will seem perfectly genuine.
But I don't even know the going rate.
Whatever she offers, demand 4 times as much.
You expect me to haggle?
Here she comes.
You may raise your heads. Mayn't they, Bubba? Wes they may. Wes they may.
Serene Highness, this is my mother.
What's your name, slave?
You're Heved.
There's no way I'll ever remember that. I'll call you Miriam's mother.
Agreed.
I understand your dugs are full.
Leaking even as we speak.
The vital nectar shall not go to waste. Woe it shan't. What one riddle do what?
Your Serene Highness is compassionate and enlightened, adopting a Hebrew baby.
He's an Egyptian now. One day, he may even be Pharaoh.
Really?
My prayers are answered. My brother has no children. Where does play? Where does play?
I can relate to sibling jealousy, but I'm sure you wish your brother no ill will.
I wish he was dead. Then there'd be no prospect of him becoming my husband.
I'd forgotten the royal family is so depraved.
We should respect other cultures, Ma.
That's easy for you to say. No one's foisting incest on you.
I hope this child will not endure such an abomination.
If the gods decree he must marry his sister, he will.
Oh, yuck.
Who's the widow Pharaoh, ready to do his duty? Wes you are. Wes you are.
If his birth mother had known this fate awaited him, she'd have thought twice.
Don't speak to me of that vile creature. How could a woman abandon her baby?
She was giving him a chance to survive.
She should have left him on the palace doorstep instead of exposing him to crocodiles.
This stretch of the river is predator-free.
Who knows how far he traveled or what dangers he escaped? My big boy.
He must be hungry.
Naughty mummy, chattering away while Bubba wants Twinkies. Unlace.
We should discuss payment first.
Suckling a prince is an honor. Let's not taint the deed with filthy lucre.
But I must insist.
Very well. For the privilege, you may give me 10 piastres.
40.
Serene Highness, it's customary for a nurse to be paid for her services.
A reasonable amount.
Very well. I'll give you 40 piastres a week.
A month.
You drive a soft bargain. Shall we say 40 piastres a season?
A year.
The baby's waiting.
Naughty, naughty, mummy. Twinkie time. Miriam's mother, stand behind me.
What?
Tuck your breast under my armpit.
There's a simpler way. Just hand him over.
No, I want him to bond with me. I want him to think I'm feeding him.
I need to touch him.
Only with your nipples. And turn your face away. I don't want him to catch a glimpse of you.
I don't feel comfortable with this.
Do one breast under my left arm, then one under my right.
Your goal is worthy, Serene Highness, but there must be a better way to achieve it.
True. Let's avoid touching altogether. Miriam will use you.
I've got no milk.
Squeeze some of your mother's into the palm of your hand. I'll dip my breast into the liquid and transfer it into my darling's mouth. Mummy will suckle woo herself.
I've never heard of anything so preposterous. 3 people to feed 1 baby.
It's an elaborate maneuver, but it'll work.
It's bad parenting.
How dare you criticize me?
If you mollycoddle him, you'll make him be mummy's boy.
Nonsense.
Consider your brother. Your parents overindulged him. Huh, look how he turned out.
An incompetent weakling.
Whereas you have a fierce reputation.
For physical exams.
I've never had to follow through on those. The threat's enough. That's true power.
Were you pampered as a child?
I was completely ignored.
Like all girls.
I undervalued you, Miriam, but neglect made you resilient.
I'm actually
So are all
grateful.
children who learn to fend for themselves.
What are you suggesting?
I'm as hard as nails. Put your son in my care.
No, he needs constant love and attention.
Miriam thrived without any mawkish sentimentality.
I'll vouch for that.
You see his future. Tell us what kind of man the boy will be if the princess raises him.
Yum, yum, yum. Her brother, all over again.
Amun-Ra forbid.
And if I raise him?
Yum, yum, yum. A great leader, the greatest the world will ever know.
What must I do?
Give him to me. We'll come and visit you occasionally.
How often?
Once a week.
Once a month.
You're tough, Ma.
The boy will be tougher.
Farewell, my widowed treasure.
Cut the nauseating baby talk. You'll undermine my discipline.
Can't I at least say goodbye to him?
Just did.
Until next month.
If he behaves himself.
Motherhood is agony, even without childbirth.
Wait, Ma, wait till she's out of earshot before you start gushing.
Forgive me, Miriam. I should have shown you more affection.
Don't start now. You'll give my brother a fright.
Will he really be a great leader?
How can he not be? With you for his mother.
And you for his sister.
The Crowned Craziness of His Majesty's Matrimonial Fancy, play written by Tasman Jahan. Scene 9, set in the 1950s, at the Quiet Island Palace. Mother, Selina, the king's first wife, and Sonia, the king's second wife, are gathered in Mother's chamber. They are in the middle of a serious conversation. Mother looks very concerned. Mother and Selina are close. Sonia usually copies Selina.
Another humiliation.
Yes, but if you really think about it, it has turned out better than expected.
Yes, it has turned out better than expected, although...
Well, how can you say that? My son wants to marry a llama instead of Annalise now? Oh, how utterly ridiculous.
And hilarious. Poor Annalise.
If it hadn't fallen off his wrist, Humphrey wouldn't have swallowed the bloody amulet.
It's strange that he didn't choke to death.
Unless it was deliberate.
Perhaps it wasn't deliberate. Perhaps this was the answer to our prayers.
Well, this complicates everything. Why did Humphrey have to swallow that amulet?
Must have been hungry.
Maybe the amulet was very tasty?
This is so unfair and frustrating.
Llamas are weird animals.
Surely Annalise should see it as a blessing in disguise. She doesn't need to marry an old, arrogant, and selfish man anymore. She can do far better than that.
Selina, please?
It's the truth.
Yes, I think she should see it as a blessing in disguise too, but
I couldn't get a hold of Odette.
Apparently, she's left town.
yes, she's left town because...
She will have to go to prison for this monumental blunder.
Well, she should have stayed and corrected her mistake.
Mother, did you tell her to leave town?
Mother, did you?
No, I didn't. The local villagers must have told her to leave.
So what now? Are we supposed to prepare for the king and Humphrey's wedding?
I don't know how to prepare for the king and Humphrey's wedding.
Well, perhaps Odette's assistant can help.
That is, if she's not fled already.
Well, I'm desperate. There's got to be someone out there that can help us.
But who would you summon from the village? We only have a day left before the wedding.
Yes, we do have a day left, but I know someone who could help.
Oh, who?
Lawrence can help us. He knows Odette.
Well, I wasn't aware of this.
I wasn't aware until I overheard Lawrence telling Nathaniel about it.
So Nathaniel knows too?
If Lawrence knows where Odette is right now, she could come over before the wedding and break the curse.
Then why are we still here? Let's get on with it.
The children are very confused about their father wanting to marry a llama.
Yes, they're very confused. My daughter asked if this was legal.
It is simply the crowned craziness of His Majesty's matrimonial fancy. Hopefully it will blow over.
With annoyance, Mother exits. Selena and Sonia smile at each other as they follow her out. It is late evening on the farm. The king is in high spirits as he strokes Humphrey's head. Humphrey appears content. The king has a drink in the other hand. Lawrence, his personal assistant, cautiously approaches him.
Your Majesty, it is getting late.
For what?
You must freshen up and prepare for dinner.
I know, but Humphrey, the love of my life, won't eat indoors. So we'll have to take dinner out here.
The temperature is falling.
Humphrey's fine out here. Or were you going to prepare one of the spare rooms for him?
Your Majesty, you will fall ill if you continue to stay out here on the farm. Plus, Miss Anneliese is here to see you. She has been waiting a while to speak to you.
Tell her to go home.
But, Your Majesty,
Humphrey has saved me from a grave mistake.
Miss Anneliese is very upset.
So am I.
Miss Anneliese would really like to speak to you. It's very important.
Tell her to come out here then.
She would rather you come indoors, Your Majesty.
Lawrence, I am the king of Quiet Island, and I demand that Anneliese comes down here and greets me politely and understands very clearly that she lost out to Humphrey for a reason.
Have you been drinking a lot, Your Majesty?
Humphrey said I could.
You must not drink too much, Your Majesty. Think of your health.
Lawrence, stop mothering me. I'm sick of it.
What would you like me to say to Miss Anneliese?
Tell her she is welcome to attend the wedding and bless both Humphrey and I on our auspicious day.
Was there anything else?
I don't love her.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I love only Humphrey.
Yes, Your Majesty.
And everyone should accept Humphrey as my fifth wife.
Your Majesty, isn't there a law against marrying animals within this island?
Humphrey is not an animal. He is family.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Who made that law anyway?
You did?
Oh. Then I need to abolish it. Get Nathaniel on this.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Humphrey has feelings. He has a heart. He loves me and I love him back. I cannot live without him. He is my future.
This does not bode well for the kingdom of Quiet Island.
You're beginning to sound like Nathaniel and Mother.
Your Majesty, I apologize, but we have to sort this out with rational minds.
I am the most rational person I know.
Please, could you kindly reconsider and come back into the palace? Miss Anneliese is rather distressed.
Then Humphrey has to come with me.
How about you going first, and then I bring Humphrey along?
But Humphrey is comfortable out here.
I'll talk to him.
Right.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Will Mother be present?
It is a private conversation between Your Majesty and Miss Anneliese.
That means Mother will be listening.
You have my firm assurance that Mother will not be present.
Humphrey doesn't like her. It could get rather awkward.
Your Majesty, just before you go, there is something else.
What is it?
Humphrey spoke to me yesterday about the wedding.
He never told me that.
He was very concerned. He was spitting a lot.
About what?
The living arrangements.
He knows there's plenty of room for him.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Then there is no problem. Let's go.
Humphrey has a lot of relatives.
Then invite them to the wedding.
Of course we can do that, but most of them are in South America.
South America?
Yes, Your Majesty. How can we get the invitations to South America at such short notice?
That's for you and Nathaniel to figure out.
But Your Majesty, you do not understand. Do you not understand that by going ahead with the wedding in 2 days' time and not having Humphrey's relatives present, it will deeply hurt his feelings?
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Your Majesty, for Humphrey's sake, please, could we delay the wedding? We all want this wedding to be very special.
Lawrence, you are my savior. Let's delay the wedding, invite all of Humphrey's South American relatives first, and then we'll go on from there.
Your Majesty, you are truly divine for allowing this postponement.
I am the King of Quiet Island, and everything is possible when I say so.
Indeed, Your Majesty.
Humphrey's relatives are my relatives too. The more the merrier. Now let us go down and speak to Annalise and tell her that she simply cannot compete with Humphrey.
The king merrily marches off, and Lawrence hurriedly follows. Scene 11, inside the king's chamber. The king confronts Annalise. Annalise, in her 20s, very well dressed, is already upset.
Have you seen what you're up against?
Who's done this to you? I want to know.
Done what? You're beginning to sound idiotic.
My tears are idiotic to you?
Have you seen Humphrey?
No.
Then clearly you don't know what you're talking about.
I love you.
I love Humphrey.
He is just a llama.
How dare you? He's definitely more than just a llama.
That's all I see.
Then you have evil eyes.
I thought I was the love of your life. I thought you could not live without me. I thought I was going to be the missing piece to your heart.
But Humphrey's my soulmate.
You said that I was your soulmate.
Annalise, respect. You're really making no sense.
Your Majesty, you're crazy.
Ooh, is this what jealousy looks like?
I am not jealous.
Humphrey's a far better creature than you'll ever be. He is sweet and gentle. He makes these wonderful humming sounds when relaxing. It's absolutely beautiful.
Why are you so obsessed with Humphrey? I can't figure it out.
After you've calmed down, you are welcome to attend the wedding.
I will attend the wedding as your bride.
As my bride? You are dreaming, Annalise.
I've made so many arrangements. Our family has gone through so much trouble in making sure that everything is perfect for our big day.
I am happy to pay for their trouble.
It's not about the money.
Nathaniel will pay for your losses.
I don't want your money. I want to be your wife as promised.
You're out of control.
No, you are out of control, Your Majesty.
I do not appreciate this tone.
I will love you more than Humphrey.
I don't believe you.
I'll do whatever it takes.
But I do not wish to marry you.
This is my wedding too, you know.
I can't marry you as well as Humphrey. Don't you know that three's a crowd?
I want to marry you now.
Are you having some sort of breakdown?
Your Majesty, I love you.
So you are having a breakdown.
Therefore, you must choose.
This isn't a game.
You've made it a game.
I'll send you to prison.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Are you a witch?
I am not a witch.
You're a witch. It all makes sense now.
Your Majesty, I am not a witch.
I knew you would say that.
This is ridiculous.
You are ridiculous. I think you should leave now. You've wasted a lot of my time.
No.
For your information, the wedding has been postponed because Humphrey's relatives need more time to prepare for the wedding.
Humphrey's relatives.
Lawrence said they're in South America.
Your Majesty, I wish to speak to Humphrey.
He doesn't like you.
But he's never met me before.
It's no use talking to Humphrey.
Humphrey has just ruined my life. I need to talk to him.
Over my dead body.
Are you scared that he'll fall in love with me and ditch you? After all, I am young and beautiful and you are not.
That would never happen.
Oh.
You can't take Humphrey away from me.
I will not stand for this rejection.
You can't leave this room until I tell you to.
You've lost your mind, Your Majesty. You need help.
Correction. I am of sound mind. Therefore, you are a witch.
Annalise angrily exits the room, leaving the king in a bit of a quandary. Scene 12. Selina and Nathaniel, the king's lawyer, are in his office. They are discussing the next course of action given the king's revelation. Nathaniel feels uneasy. Selina appears a little flirtatious.
I can't do it.
Of course you can.
I think it's a very bad idea.
The King of Quiet Island has lost his marbles, and you're sitting here doing nothing.
I resent that comment. I'm as concerned as everyone else in this palace.
Then do it.
I cannot deceive His Majesty.
He's a lunatic.
He's unwell. It's a difference.
We are a global laughingstock.
No, it's a temporary situation.
I want you to write that ransom note right now.
I will not participate in this unlawful act.
So you would rather abandon your country to uphold one of your pathetic principles?
It will upset the king.
Only for a short spell.
You want me to kidnap Humphrey, hand him over to another farmer? You want me to send the ransom note demanding that he cancels the wedding altogether?
How hard is that?
Very.
Please, Nathaniel, we are in grave danger of losing our identity as a nation.
There must be some other way.
We will be alienated by other leading governments.
Does Lawrence know about this?
Lawrence is busy looking for Odette.
Does Mother know about this plan?
She has given it her blessing.
But there has to be another way.
Go on then, enlighten me.
Odette. Odette is the answer to our prayers. Let's give Lawrence a chance to find her.
And in the meantime, the humiliation continues. Oh, bravo, Nathaniel.
I can't do this to His Majesty.
And I thought you cared about me.
Pardon?
I thought you cared about me.
I care about the royal household, yes.
Don't lie.
I am not.
I know you like me.
I don't know what else to say.
I know you think about me as well.
I'm sorry that you feel this way.
If you do this for me, there will be a huge reward waiting for you. And I don't mean money.
I need the money.
Please, Nathaniel. For me.
I'm flattered that you think of me this way. However,
Nathaniel, there is no need to be shy.
I finally have a great idea.
What?
I will send a note to the king stating that Humphrey wishes to reunite with his family in South America, and he no longer wants to be part of this royal household.
Do you think he will believe you?
Do you believe me?
Anything is possible.
In that case, if you'll excuse me, I would like to concentrate on this serious letter and get it ready for the king.
To be honest with you, my ransom note idea was better.
Yeah, but this way it's not unlawful.
And there it is.
What?
That sparkle in your eye.
Good day, Your Majesty.
Selena tries to grab a quick kiss, but Mother suddenly bursts into the room. Selena is annoyed and takes a step back. Nathaniel is relieved. Mother urgently addresses them.
Oh, there you are, Selena.
Mother, I was just talking to Nathaniel about
Well, we don't have time.
what's happened.
Lawrence found Odette,
That's brilliant news.
except there's a minor setback.
What do you mean?
She's very nervous about breaking the curse, and
And what?
Has something happened to the king?
it's absolutely awful.
Another blunder, I knew it.
Has something happened to Humphrey?
Annalise and Humphrey are now getting married, and the king has fled the scene.
What do you mean? Fled the scene.
He left a note.
He can't just leave Quiet Island like that. He's the king.
The king has fled to South America and hopes to find another bride soon. The wedding ceremony is still taking place, but between Annalise and Humphrey.
What has Odette done? What a mess.
I was hoping that she would change the course of history, but not like this.
Your Majesty.
Oh, that's not the worst part.
What do you mean?
Unfortunately, he has left everything to Humphrey. He is identified as the sole caretaker for this kingdom until he returns with his llama bride from South America.
Absolutely unforgivable.
So I still have a job, but now I must take orders from Humphrey, the llama?
Heartbreaking, isn't it?
This is gonna be devastating for the economy. Oh well. Long live the llama. Long live King Humphrey of Quiet Island.
I'm going to kill Odette.
Mother and Selena burst into tears. Nathaniel comforts mother. Selena hugs Nathaniel.
Come on. Come on. Somebody has to be there. This stupid Zoom thing.
Hello, Suicide Helpline.
Finally. I was beginning to believe no one would ever pick up.
Oh, please excuse the delay, but lately we've been extremely busy.
Yes, quite. I suppose it's a sign of the times.
2020 has certainly been a banner year for us here at Suicide Helpline.
An odd way of phrasing it.
How do you mean?
Well, banner usually implies something very positive.
Yes?
Are you implying that your phone's ringing off the hook for people calling with suicidal intentions is a positive thing?
Well, it is what we're here for. It is a marvellous thing when outcome exceeds expectations. We take our services here at Suicide Helpline very seriously. It's a good feeling to fulfill a purpose.
I suppose. It must be very rewarding to dissuade the unfortunate people, such as myself, from committing suicide.
Why would we do that?
Do what?
Prevent suicide.
Well, I'm slightly confused. You were going on about how wonderful it is to exceed expectation of purpose, and am I not correct that your purpose is to prevent suicide?
Oh, no, just the opposite.
Oh, now I'm in a complete fog. This is Suicide Helpline, is it not?
Yes, it is, but you've made a very common error. It happens all the time.
What does?
Well, you see, we're the Suicide Helpline, and I think you wanted to call the Suicide Hotline.
What's the difference?
Well, the hotline would sit and let you go on and on, whimpering like a dog that you just got hit by a truck, refer you to some expensive therapist or clinic, and tell you that the sun will always come out tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Well, we at the Suicide Helpline are here to help you reach your goal and complete your suicide.
Help? With suicide? You help people kill themselves?
Well, we prefer to say that we facilitate a person's desire to eliminate all negative aspects from their lives.
Is that even legal?
Yeah, it's called death with dignity. 8 states have legalized it. However, we found that most people who contemplate suicide do not have any concern for breaking the law. I mean, after all, what can the legal system do? Prosecute a dead person?
Well, it happened to Cromwell.
To who?
Oliver Cromwell. He was dug out of Westminster Abbey, put in chains, hung and beheaded. And this was after he died of natural causes.
So he didn't commit suicide?
No, but it does go to show how far the arm of the law will go to prosecute.
It would seem to me, if you're so concerned about what happened to your friend Oliver and legal issues, that you're not ready for suicide.
Oliver Cromwell is not important. You're quite right. I may not be, as you said, ready for suicide, but it still may be the course I take, and I wanted to talk about it. It's just that lately I'm feeling down.
Oh, then you should call the Feeling Down hotline.
Oh, there's such a thing?
Of course. These days, everything is in degrees. I mean, why have open heart surgery if all you're feeling is indigestion? Would you like the number?
Well, that's just the thing. I think
I may be past the down stage and I am full into the jumping off a bridge stage.
Oh, what bridge?
What do you mean, what bridge?
Well, it's very important to pick the right bridge. Can you swim?
Swim? Yes, I can swim.
Then you wouldn't want to pick a bridge over water. You might hit the water and start freaking out that you're drowning and start swimming to save your life.
Thanks for the information.
Oh, that's what we're here for at Suicide Helpline. It's also important to make sure you picked a high enough bridge to make the landing fatal.
Okay. Okay. I don't see jumping being my way. Actually, I'm afraid of heights.
So how would you like to kill yourself?
I don't know. I wasn't expecting this kind of help.
Oh, so you want me to tell you that you've so much to live for and everything will be peachy if you just get some rest?
That might be of some service.
Wrong number.
I get that now, but as a person, aren't you just at least a little interested in turning someone away from killing themselves?
I am here to help each person reach their full potential.
Yes, but...
Look, do you have anything worth living for? I mean, you're not in a relationship and
How do you know that?
Well, if you had someone meaningful in your life, you would be whining to me.
I am not whining.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, you're not hearing it from my end. Okay, so no love in your life and no job.
How do you know that?
It's the middle of the day in the middle of the week. If you had a job, you'd be working.
Maybe I'm on holiday.
Yeah, great way to spend a vacation. Do you have a job?
No.
And if you were working, what kind of work would it be?
Acting. I'm an actor. A Shakespearean actor. To be or not to be.
Is that a question? An actor? Pfft, another reason to kill yourself.
Wait, being an actor is not a reason to kill yourself.
Yeah, tell that to George Reeves, Robin Williams and Marilyn Monroe. Oh, by the way, what would I have seen you in?
Well, actually, I haven't had any commercial success.
Oh. Have you considered a gun?
No, that just seems so final.
Isn't that the point?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm more confused now than I was before I started this call.
Okay, so no successful career, no job, no relationship. What's the point of living?
What about tomorrow? And tomorrow? And tomorrow?
Well, that depends on when you decide to end it. I mean, there is no tomorrow after that decision's been made.
Yes, I know, but isn't life made up of possibilities of what may be? Even if up till now nothing is working out, that doesn't mean that things cannot improve.
Oh, come on, Horace, be real. Things are not going to change tomorrow or 10 years from now because you'll be the same person as you are now. Your life will never be different because you will never be different.
But I have plodded along for this long. I can keep going. I can try something new.
Like what?
Well, I don't know.
You see, a man without a plan. No plan, no future. You can't even plan the end of your life.
But that's because I don't want to end it.
You what?
I don't want to end my life. Yes, I have had some setbacks. Not all of my relationships have been perfect, but I have had relationships. I have loved, and I was loved. That can happen again.
Not without a job. I mean, women, well, I'm assuming it's a woman you fancy, and expect a man to be financially stable.
I can change that. I've been thinking of starting a Shakespearean youth theatre. I could direct. I can do that.
Oh, I don't know. Shakespeare and youth just does not seem like they'd go together.
No, you'll be surprised just how much young people are yearning for the bard. They crave the challenge and the tradition of the Shakespearean stage. This can work, and I can do it.
I don't know, Horace. I mean, what if you're not successful? What if you fail again? You're just going to end up here. Why not get it all over with tonight? I mean, you're only one necktie away from eternal peace.
No. I was confused when I called, but I am no longer confused. I want to live. I want to make a difference and help young actors reach their goals. I'll give them such stuff that dreams are made on. I'm sorry for you that you have this horrible job. I think it may weigh very heavily on your mind, and soon you will be asking those very same questions from a very tall building. But I will not be going gentle into that good night. For courage mounteth with occasion. I will live, and I will rail against our mistress the world and all our misery.
Well, as you like it. Good luck with that.
I won't need it. I'm going to change my life. Men at some time must be masters of their fates. Brutus.
Anna!
What? Well, in spite of everything you tried to do for me, Anna, I will succeed. Fortune is merry and in this mood will give us anything. So, Anna, whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever, farewell, Anna. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
To do a great right, do a little wrong. Hello, Suicide Helpline.
Hello. Happy anniversary. Yes, it's been another year. I guess we've been celebrating like this for 10 years. Yes, it's been 10 years last month. You know, sometimes I still think I'm going to see you. Often when I'm out on the street or at one of our favorite restaurants. It happened just the other day. I was sitting at Linnea's having a morning tea on the back patio at our table near the goldfish. And I heard that flapping noise of sandals on the brick walk, like the sandals you always wore. And I thought to myself, oh, here she comes, late as usual. You were always late. But when I looked up from the New Times, it wasn't you. It was a young stranger. She asked if anyone was using the other chair. She wanted your chair. I didn't want to, but I gave up your chair and watched her walk away with your chair. At that moment, I felt it again. That loneliness from 10 years ago washed over me again. I could not finish my tea or the paper. I left. So, where did I go? I went home. I went back to our house and pulled out the note, your note, the one you left for me. Do you remember it? Do you remember what you wrote? I read it every time I think about you. You see, it's getting worn out. I can no longer find the reason to continue. The pain has become too much for me to bear alone. All I can feel is lonely from the moment I wake up to the brief moment I can close my eyes and find some sleep. When I sleep, I feel nothing, and I prefer to feel nothing instead of this loss that I cannot forget. I want to close my eyes and feel nothing forever. I have nothing else to give anymore. I hope you will not be burdened with this grief, and that you can forgive me and eventually forget what I have chosen to do. I did not know how much pain you were in. I didn't know how you were feeling. I didn't know anything. How could I know anything? You hid it all from me. You never talked to me. Whenever I asked how you were doing, all I got was fine. Fine. How could I know what was going on? Did you expect me to read your mind? Alone. Why did you think you were alone? I was there. I was right there the whole damn time. You were never alone. But I will tell you who is alone. I am alone. You left me alone. I have nothing. What I used to have inside me is all gone. You took it all away. All that's left is this dark, hollow emptiness that is slowly filling with rage. Maybe if I'd held you more, you wouldn't have felt alone. I am sorry I didn't do more. I'm sorry I didn't know what to do. I am also sorry that I cannot keep doing this. I just cannot come here anymore. I am finished with all of this. This is the last time I celebrate our anniversary here. Next year, I'll go to Cafe Novo and sit by the creek. I will order a nice wine and sip it slowly. And maybe as I sip my second glass and watch the sunlight dance on the ripples of the creek, I will forget the choice you made. Your choice to be alone. Next year, I'll bring a bottle of wine.
Wow. Gosh, Paul, wonderful.
Beautiful, Paul.
So good, Paul.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
wonderful. Beautiful.
Really good.
Excellent. Good job.
Really good. Stephen, sorry, just to jump in. The first thing that we did of my excerpt, we've got Caroline in there, and she left the camera and she was leaving her room. She looked in the mirror and then she left her room. When you upload it on YouTube, that is definitely going to show.
I might be able to isolate it and black it out. I'm not sure, but unless you want.
Whichever's easiest for you. I mean, I don't know how we're doing for time, because I did message her and obviously she'd left the room. So, you know, it happens. I get it. But if you're going to put it on YouTube, then that's there all the time.
We could shoot the first scene again right now.
Yeah, because I think I was also stuck in it. I wasn't off camera.
So how long is the first scene?
It's probably about, I don't know, no more than 7 minutes.
Not long.
No more, not long at all.
Does
No,
anybody
not
else-
even 7 minutes.
Anybody else have an issue with us just shooting that first scene over?
I'd appreciate it because I was on camera too, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Let's
Sandy, how do you feel about that? Sorry, I just wanted to get input from others.
No problem.
And then it was Zev.
Yeah, no problem.
And Carol.
I'm crying. Can I have a minute?
Aww.
Is Zev in the first scene?
What's
For
the
like
first?
2 seconds?
Okay, so we're going to have to give Zev a few minutes.
Stephen, you could do it after the rest of us have left. Reshoot the scene. Just keep the actors who are in the scene.
Yeah, whichever works for everyone.
Well, that's up to you and your crew if you want to stay later to reshoot the first scene.
Is Zev okay to stay on afterwards, and Carol and Sandy?
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
So we'll move into conversations, and we're going to start with your play.
With Rex's.
Oh, that's right. Rex, they go first. That's right, because Michelle and Carolyn have to leave early. So let's do Miriam's mother. Rex, how did that go for you?
We had a lot of fun in the rehearsal, and we got authentic looking costumes, and I was very pleased with the performance we arrived at.
Good, great.
Good. Great piece of history.
It was a definitely different viewpoint of that story.
Yeah,
that was the idea. I often like to do an alternative take of history or literature.
Mm.
I thought the tone that you all created with the writing and the acting was absolutely right. It just felt that period of time. It just absolutely crackled with it.
Molly, I love the way
everyone.
you channeled.
Good.
I love the way you channeled.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that was
That's
great.
marvelous.
Yeah.
Rex, when you told me I could ham it up, I was like, okay, I'll go for this.
Really good, really good.
You surprised me, Melly Rose, in a good way.
Oh,
That's
good.
what I always like.
Was that
I knew it was going to be a surprise, and it could go either way.
Was that ability part of her her person, or was that something that you brought into the story?
Well, we tried to do it as if she was acting. She was pretending to be having these visions.
But does the character of Miriam in the story?
Oh, you mean the biblical story?
Yes.
In the biblical story, yes, she is a prophetess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
her story isn't very well known, you see. That's one of the reasons. In fact, the original title of this play was Mother of Moses. And I figured, I want to flip that. So by focusing on the Miriam character, that's when I got the real different angle for this play.
there was a lot of pathos in it. I was surprised that the Serene Highness was so overjoyed at having this baby, and then she has to go through losing it almost immediately. And it really kind of tugs at you, even though obviously it's humorous situations and the subject, of course, of how to feed the baby, but it really tugged at you, I think.
Yeah, I think Michelle was milking it. We agreed that she would milk those last lines, and it was beautifully done, Michelle.
I also thought it was an interesting bargain that the mother made. It seems to me she bargained to get less money.
She's not very experienced at bargaining.
Yeah, but I like Mally's reaction to her. It's like, what are you? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I like that turn where she is initially the bargaining is going very poorly, and then she seems like she's slipping. It seems like she's improving in the bargaining, and then she falls back down the hill. And I think that's a great way to signify how much she really loves this child. And even when she's trying to put on this mask of just, it's all just for money, it's calculated and cold, she falls back into that emotional, loving mother role.
Yeah.
Great topic.
I think mathematics was not Yocheved's strong suit.
Has this been performed elsewhere, Rex?
No, it's actually only written a few months ago, but it's had quite a few Zoom readings. And it's one of those plays that, whichever cast you get, they do a slightly different take. So I think it's quite a versatile script in many ways. That and I'd like to see a director take it and put it on stage. I think there are different ways you could actually stage it.
Sure.
I thought the ladies did wonderfully. That everyone really worked well together. It was excellent. Very good.
I was waiting for the baby handoff. I was going to see if they would, how you were going to handle that. That worked.
Yeah.
That worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just needed two babies, right?
Yeah.
Couple of pillows.
Yeah.
I believed it was a baby. I did.
As I instructed the actors, the way to convince the audience that it's a baby isn't the pillow, it's your reactions to it. It's what creates the baby.
Yes.
That's it.
No, I'm very pleased at the variety after seeing all of Rex's animals and insects, comedies, and all of a sudden hit with this. And kudos, sir.
Yeah, kudos, definitely.
Great job.
I always learn something when I see one of Rex's. I always learn about something that I didn't know.
So educational.
Educational,
entertainment and education. That's my goal.
Yeah,
edutainment, as they say. Yeah.
You're
So
highly
Rex,
cultured.
Rex, from what I remember when we first started this, and you had your first one on here, and we were still trying to figure things out. I remind me if I'm inaccurate or not, but I kind of thought that you were reluctant to direct your own piece. You didn't feel like that you could do the directing, but now through all of these performances, you've always directed your piece. How are you feeling different about that?
Well, I was always told, back in the days pre-COVID, that a writer should never direct their own work. And I very rarely did any directing pre-COVID.
Tarantino and the Coen brothers.
Yeah, but since Zoom came along, whenever there's an opportunity like this, I just go in for it. I just go for it. So I've even got one for a festival coming up that's going to be, done through Zoom. That I'm going to use actors.
Great.
Nice.
Good.
Congratulations. It's great.
So now are we ready for the crown craziness?
Yeah, I just want
But it was great seeing it. How it's so good.
I like the way, Tasman, you got the title into the dialogue.
Yeah, that was good.
The excerpt,
Well done, everyone.
The pages that I put it, yes, you were great, everyone. Thank you so much. And I'm always very grateful for those who choose the roles and you just think, yeah, it's going to be a riot. And it was. Yeah, so thank you so much. And I just wanted to, I know it was crazy, but I just wanted to maintain that thread and just make it totally crazy until the end, where Annalise obviously is madly in love with the king, and then all death can't break the curse, and now Annalise is going to marry the llama.
I loved it. It was so
great.
Really good. Well done.
I thought you brought it together very well. Put it all and closed it out very nicely.
Yeah.
Thank
Everyone's characterizations are so good. It was really good.
And it's so serious, you know?
Yes,
and
exactly.
everyone, you know,
Very
Carol made it so serious, and the flirtatious behavior, and Donetto. You were very good.
Thank you.
Donetto,
Very
sorry.
good.
I
Yeah.
apologize
Well
if I
done.
said your name incorrectly.
No, yes.
Yes, great. Yeah. And Zev and Mother and gosh, what a household. I would never want to live there, ever. Ever. I wouldn't want to live there. But yeah, it's a bit of craziness.
Quiet Island sounds like a nice place, though.
But this is the thing, this is the irony here. You know, it's Quiet Island, but it's really not. It's crazy. But I couldn't call it Crazy Island. It gives too much away. So I thought, what would not give it away? Quiet Island would never give this away.
Yeah, I'd love to see it filmed. I'd love to see it filmed if you filmed.
Oh, jeez. That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be.
I'm curious also about the rest of the play. Actually, I have only read this.
Yeah, what I had to do with the excerpts, and Stephen, you were very, very nice. And when I said, "Oh my God, the length is just a little bit longer than the other times we've had the excerpt," and he said, "Yeah, that's fine," and I was like, oh, "Okay, let's do it," because I was so ready for Stephen to say, "No, just cut it down, will you? Just cut it down." But yeah, I was very pleased that we managed to finish it off. There are scenes before these 3 scenes, but I did a bit of nip and tuck so that we could finish it off and then move on to something else next time.
And Donetto, the other previous stories, the other previous scenes are on YouTube now.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, you did it March and
That's it.
April.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we did. March and April. And you can go online and have a look, and hopefully it all makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's all good fun. It's all good fun with the brilliant actors here.
I was kind of expecting the mother and I guess Carol's character to accept the king leaving, Humphrey becoming the king as their way of taking over the kingdom.
Oh.
Being
Oh,
the
wow. I
voice,
didn't think about that.
being the voice of Humphrey.
Humphrey's advisors, who would protest?
Yeah. Well, Humphrey said it was okay.
Oh, I don't know about that. But that's certainly a different take on it. But I don't know about that. But I think the way in which it ended, where, you know, the llama had to take over. There was no way anyone else could, you know, become king. It would just have to be the llama because of his relationship with the llama, which is the only true relationship he has. The rest are just annoying.
And Annalise figures out a way to become queen.
Right.
And now I'm actually looking forward to the sequel. You know, I really want to see Humphrey rule the island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's how you weren't here last month, but everyone was tossing in their hat as to what Tasman might be doing for the next installment. I was fully expecting it to turn into
I don't think I can
melodrama with like women battling over one another, and Humphrey's just kind of there.
And
That's not what
you know,
happened.
the king has to come back. Are they going to let him come back? Or are they going to let him come back?
America.
They overthrew him when he left. He abdicated the throne.
Yeah,
By treason.
caretaker of the government. Here you go, Humphrey. And I love the llama. I don't love you.
I'd say my favorite line in the play was, "He was concerned. He was spitting a lot." Like the delivery on that line was
Llamas
fantastic.
do spit a lot, don't they? Especially if they're really agitated.
Well, I'll throw in my 2 cents for the title of the sequel would be The Llama Whisperer.
Excellent. Now there's an idea.
Or Humphrey Takes Over.
Yeah.
Humphrey takes over. Oh
The subtitle.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of ideas now.
Oh, thank you. Everyone did a stellar job. Thank you so much. I mean, on the page, it's not that much fun. It's only fun in my head when it's just on the page. But when
This is why we are here, to give that writer that chance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The moment it's off the page, you
Yes.
guys take over, you give it life, and that's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've seen so many of us play all the different parts.
Yeah, you did absolutely fabulous, because I know
I've had so many different mothers, I can't keep track of all my moms.
That's right. I bet.
I hope you don't have any nightmares.
They all disowned me. They just disowned me.
Yeah.
So,
but kudos to you. Kudos to every actor. Thank you so much. I am very grateful. And it's just so much fun here.
yes.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes.
Well, and Henry was one of the original
Yes.
hosts of the.
Oh, thank you, Henry.
Yeah, thank you both.
Somehow I got past the torch. I'm not sure how I got a hold of it, but
You're doing a great job.
Yes.
I have a question.
For having us.
Is this going to continue on Zoom? So many things have gone now, off in live, and I'm hoping this will continue on Zoom.
it will continue as long as there's writers, actors, and interest.
Good.
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 Yay.
I can't swim. That
I know. It will be boring.
Welcome to you.
Yeah.
You're
You'll have-
very good swimmers.
You'll have to put us all up, and we'll come to you.
You can ride one of the llamas. You can ride a llama.
I think it's a much richer experience having people from all over the world
It is.
participate in these.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is really.
Got to
Yeah.
meet so
Brilliant.
many people through Zoom, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
One thing about COVID is the amount of people
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
And
the
it's
silver
interesting
lining,
how-
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Americans, we think we're the center of the goddamn world, and I work with actors in a British theater over Zoom, and we are not the center of the goddamn world. So the way they receive some of my acting choices and the references I make can be very interesting. I had to explain, you can't say that in America. That's really insulting. And then they shot back with, you named a character Randy, and he, what? What that means when you're a Brit. For someone to be Randy is
Yeah, that's right.
something you do when you've
It's
just gotten
pretty
married, I'll put
Randy,
it that
yeah.
way.
So, unless there's more comments, we can move on to the not so hotline.
What? What's that?
Anna. And
This-
was it Horace?
No,
Yes.
Anna and Henry.
Rachel and Henry playing
Well,
Horace.
yeah,
and
Anna and Horace.
Still got
Yeah.
my name up. Yeah, Anna.
Rex, did you have something?
Yeah, I just think this is like a classic example of what a 10-minute play should be.
Oh.
Because it had a clear premise right from the start, and it just kept building until that beautiful ending. So if I was teaching a playwriting course on how to use, how to write a 10-minute play, I would probably pick something like this as an example, because it's got that very clear arc and the very clearly differentiated characters. You knew who these characters were after about the first 30 seconds. The conflict was already there, but that almost from the moment they opened their mouths, that you had this little battle going on. It was just
Well,
a
if
classic
you-
example, Stephen. Really, really great work.
If you ever teach a class and you want to use it, it's yours.
I
Yeah,
love
Stephen's plays. Wonderful. So
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
Stephen.
Very well done.
Honored to read Stephen's plays.
Yeah,
Very
I was
well
wondering
done.
who wrote it.
I was going to ask who wrote it, but now that I know, excellent job. I like the fact that we really didn't know he was an actor. That took it to another level. Oh, and he's doing Shakespeare. And even with I'm sorry, Anna's character, she's saying, as you like it, but whatever.
Yes.
Little jokes here and there, and it was clever, it was well done, it was well acted, it was great. It was-
Well, and I can't
Very
take,
well acted.
I can't take all the credit for that writing because Rachel and Henry did this as another performance. In fact, Henry had asked me to write something for a group that he was doing.
I asked you to write for me and Rachel, actually.
Yes.
And then we did it for the group.
Yes.
For the other group.
But from what I remember, your group was a Shakespearean group.
Yes.
It had gone through all the Shakespeare it wanted to do, and it wanted to present things that were lighthearted and humorous. So I write a play about suicide. But
that was a bit of a challenge. Yeah.
But one of the great things about doing these types of performances is that there were things that Henry and Rachel brought into the script. They actually changed some lines. And when we presented it this time, I kept their lines in the script. And I like that type of collaboration. I mean, people can suggest things and you could say, nah, I don't think so. But because of their performances, when they did it the first time, I kept those choices in. And it works for both their characters because
Oh,
of
yes. And I love the all the different kind of hotlines, all the different suicide hotlines.
I'm feeling down line.
Yeah, feeling down line. That was so funny. Yeah.
I was so entertained by it.
Yeah.
I was so entertained by it. I was laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so
Great.
funny. Yeah, and I love the dynamic where the person who has called in has this intention of probably taking his life, but then it's all about it's not about the suicide, then it's about him and his conversation with Anna, and he's shocked that Anna is saying that she's going to take him seriously, but then clearly ridicules him to a certain point, and he's like, hang on a minute, I am not going to stand for this. I'm being judged and ridiculed by someone, an agent on this helpline. Hang on a minute. And he cranks it up a notch. And he then discovers himself. And when he finishes the call, he knows who he is. And I like that dynamic. And and the agent was a typical agent. Oh, very jolly.
Oh, yeah, no.
Make sure you smile. Make sure you read the script and make sure you try and help someone.
Only when she started pushing him, oh, you're worthless. We don't need a life. You're boring. And I realized, oh, maybe she's doing it on purpose to save him.
Reverse psychology.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. That was one question
was the
that
only
I
hint.
had.
That's the only hint I had.
Yeah.
That was one question I had. And I kind of like that it's left ambiguous, but is she actually, is this hotline actually a suicide, or let's see, is she a part of the helpline or the hotline, for one?
Well, she is part of the helpline, but it isn't to help people commit suicide. She's just kind of turning it around on him. She takes that chance, and that's her line, and that's the line that Rachel added was, do a little good, do a little bad to get a lot of good.
Okay, so she's not subverting the goals of this larger industry, like this suicide help industry. She is just sort of making a bet that this is going to turn him around rather than the typical course.
Well, and I kind of like leaving that up to the audience and making it kind of ambiguous that, you know, maybe she knows he doesn't, even though she's there to help people with their suicides, maybe she knows from the way he's talking that he's not really ready for that. And so she turns it around on him.
Okay, yeah.
But
No, I like the ambiguity.
it could go either way. I'm not going to say it's one or the other. I'm just going to say that's kind of up to you.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
I-
something to try in real life.
The way I took it is that she does this all the time. This is her way to actually help people not commit suicide.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology. definitely.
Yeah, reverse psychology, that's the word I was looking
Because
for.
I
So
think
I assume that
a
that's,
lot of people would
oh.
call in expecting to get sympathy and be talked out of something.
Yeah.
And so if they're not getting that, they're going to start questioning it, and then questioning maybe why they're even calling in the first place.
That would explain a lot. I approached it from a very dark humor standpoint. I thought no one was going to pick up. I started laughing and was so glad I was off camera, because you would have been like, Zev, you have a very dark sense of humor. No, this play has layers. And then they continued. I was approaching it from something very specific, and then I'm an actor. I'm not going to commit suicide. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. I'm going to start a youth theater for Shakespeare Youth, and I was like,
Did you have?
like I think I just.
Sorry.
I think I just had a particular take on it. I thought it was great.
Well, that's my dark-sided humor. Usually
Well, I
goes in
did.
that direction.
Yeah. That's
Great.
why I like
And I
reading
liked
it,
how
'cause
both
I've
of the
got dark
actors
sense
tapped
of
into it. It really came together well. The writing was excellent. The two actors were great.
Absolutely.
They understood it very, very clearly. So it was wonderful to watch.
It was.
Really well. Yeah.
Jackie, did you have something?
No, I love it. I've seen it over and over and over again. I absolutely love the both of you. I know I'm a healthcare worker and suicide is such a big problem right now. But watching this is kind of like that uplifting, because sometimes when we're working, we have to find humor within our day to get through our shift.
That's right, yeah.
So when I saw this, I was like crying tears, and I still laugh and applaud you two every time I see it. So kudos to you and Henry.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
And to my brother. I shouldn't, but I and to you, because without you, they would not have been able to do it. But you know, I'm always proud of you. I always.
Oh.
She still wants to be my manager.
I will be. I will be. We're going to the Oscars together.
Can we come with you too? Can we all come too?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If I ever get there, anybody can come.
We're all going, yeah.
So now the last one,
Oh my goodness.
suicide again.
Oh, yeah.
I know,
Paul?
gosh, Paul, well done. That was
Yes.
so well done, Paul.
Yeah.
Where is? Oh, there's Paul. Yeah, you're still there, but you're muted, Paul.
Thank you.
Was that difficult to perform?
Very.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could
In
see
fact,
why.
in fact, it was more difficult than I thought it was going to be. As you start to work on it, you say, "Oh wait, this needs some more." I had to spend more time with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
Paul
it's
and
not-
I actually we rehearsed it. Well, it was like last month we rehearsed it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really appreciate the fact that he wanted to rehearse it with me, and we actually made changes to the script based on that rehearsal. So it really worked for me to have that time and to rework it.
Yeah, it was just, you had all these expectations at the beginning, and it was just so sad.
Was very
And
sad.
It's a dark ride. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just drew you in. I mean, it was beautifully poignant. And when there were pauses, or there was, a longer pause, especially when you came back and picked up that note, I thought, my God, that's hard.
I know, and it needs a really good actor to do that, and Paul, you just.
Oh, Paul
you're
nailed it.
brilliant,
You're
absolutely.
brilliant anyway,
Excellent.
Paul.
Yes.
And your voice, it's so captivating,
Yes.
Yeah, because it was just right and so heart-wrenching. And I love the way when he talked about rage, and he was just sort of angry, and he was saying, I'm not going to come next year. And then he thought, but I have to come back next year, and I'll bring the wine. I think that's what you said, that you're going to bring the wine. And I just thought, the hardship, and the fact that she wanted to be alone. And I love the line where you said you wanted to be alone, now I'm alone. And I was like, God, nobody thinks about that bit, do they?
Yeah.
You know, gosh, it's so true. Brilliant.
I know you really got me.
Yeah, definitely.
Really very good.
And on top of all of that, which I agree with, you paced it so beautifully.
Yes.
You really gave it so much space, and so much happened in those spaces. In those,
Yes, for sure.
It was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I haven't memorized the lines. I'm actually thinking about what I'm going to say next. It's coming, you know, from this natural moment. It's not like I'm just going to do my lines. It's, you know, it's sort of like I'm thinking about what that next statement is going to be.
And just not worrying if, it seemed to me, not worrying if however much more time you want it needed, you just let it be. And so that was
Well, I've only seen
such
you
a
in-
realness, such a realness.
I've only seen Paul do comedy, which he's unbelievably good at. But watching you do that, my God, it's just excellent comedy, dramatic.
Paul is good at doing comedy.
Very good, very good. I know, he's so funny.
Paul is good.
You had me in tears doing that. So well
he was in my comedy. Was it last Sunday, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
That
played
was
John
fun.
Hoggisman. Oh my God, he
That was
nailed
fun.
it. He was so good. He was
What's that
so
at?
good.
Where was that at?
I'm sorry.
Where was the Sunday performance?
Oh, it was play reading with friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my comedy was on there, and Paul did the old grumpy, penny pinching, moaning
I'd love to have seen that
character. He was great. He was superb.
Well, they do record those and they put them up.
Oh,
It takes them a little while to get them up on YouTube, but they do put them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they usually post. So if you join Play Reading with Friends on Facebook, they usually post when they're up.
Oh, cool.
Hey, I'd love to see it.
I have to join that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Paul, you were brilliant. Today's piece, definitely. Oh my God, every line.
Yes, beautiful
Every line.
writing, beautiful performance. Paul is probably one of my favorite performances of yours.
I'm glad no one.
And I've worked with you and I've seen you do so many things and they're all wonderful, but this was one of my favorites.
I concur.
And, of course. And Stephen, I was thinking, could a woman do this as a monologue?
Oh,
sure.
Because I was
work out.
Because I was already thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I just want to take this moment to say I'm going to make it about me. I started crying. That's all you need to. That's all you need to know. However, one of my favorite Broadway plays is Night Mother, which is about. Spoiler alert! In case anybody has triggers about suicide, it's about a suicide that gets completed. And here Paul made me cry. Like, I can sit down and watch that Broadway play and be like, oh, it's wonderful, and not cry, not cry a drop. But it's the afterword that always gets me, and I don't know why. In case anybody is wondering, I am a total monster who has never cried at a funeral in their life, but it's the afterword that I just destroyed. And I don't know whether or not I'm a sociopath, so this kind of brought it up. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. I'm going to write a play about it to process my emotions. But anyway, Paul, in case you had wanted to tell me in our future relationship we have as colleagues, Zeb, don't watch this as suicide in it. I'm fine. This was just a time when you made me cry. That's all. I meant it as a compliment in my head. It's going to stick with me.
And I'm not sure why, but I do have a third one that's about suicide also.
Okay.
It's called The Choice.
With you tonight, Stephen.
Yeah, you could do the part of either the mother or the sister. I could. It's actually, I pitched it at a log line group for a group that wants to start shooting and producing short videos. So there must have been about 20 other people pitching scripts, and I pitched that one. the choice. And they emailed me a couple days later and said they wanted to read the script.
Oh, brilliant.
That's cool.
Brilliant.
Great. Yeah.
Wow.
So it might be made into a video,
That's so cool.
but we can present it here.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We'd love
Now we
it.
did do it at the Culver City group. So just to warn you, Zeb, not only was most of the audience crying, but I was crying, and that's because the actress started crying. So it could be a very emotional experience.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better. God, I'm so spoiled. Spoiled is not the right word. It's just like sometimes when I cry at plays, I feel like I'm the only one crying, and then I get embarrassed because people want to know if I'm okay, and it's just like.
Well, my family's always questioning me because the only time they see me cry is when I'm watching a movie or watching television. That's the only time.
But it's a personal thing, isn't it? I mean, you know, everyone's different with emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally different.
But I as a writer, I think of that as an accomplishment because you can scare people pretty easily. And if you're funny, you can make people laugh. But getting them to cry is like you're dipping into a really heavy emotion. So
It goes
if it
down
happens,
deep,
I'm really happy, you know, that I made a person cry. But I kind of consider it as a
through your beautiful words.
Well,
okay.
Unless anyone else has something to say or something that they want to promote about something they're doing, we can either end the conversation and shoot scene one, or if everybody wants to say goodbye, we'll see everybody next month.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, take care, everyone. Well done, everybody. Great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much.
Zev, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Did you watch the first episode that I did of Porch Talk?
I beg pardon?
Did you watch the first episode of Porch Talk with the two?
That was good.
The two old gentlemen
No, I'm not
sitting.
familiar. Can you send it to me?
Well, it's up on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Really good.
It's just that I've been asked to write another episode, and there's a character named Michelle who used to be a Michael, and I'm thinking about bringing her onto the porch.
Okay.
And I was wondering if you want to do the part.
I'm gonna message you on Facebook so I remember, but yes, totally up for this.
Okay, great.
And it's called Porch Talk. It's on YouTube, so I can have an idea.
Yeah, if you go to the LA Play Reading YouTube page, it was done last month.
Did I miss last month somehow?
month before. It wasn't
I
last
thought it was a couple months ago.
Damn it,
I think it was March.
Yeah.
I believe it was March.
The last time I did it, I don't think. Yeah, it was when you did it, wasn't it? A couple of months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what
you
did I
did.
do? So I guess I didn't do anything last month then. Huh. Okay. All right. So it's
Bye,
time.
guys. I'll have to go, but lovely to see you.
Lovely to
See you again
see
soon.
you.
Thank you,
Take
Rachel.
care.
See everyone.
Bye.
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 Yes, that was you and Henry did a great job. That was a great piece.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Chuck, I'll be bringing you into an episode when I reintroduce Arnie.
Thank you.
Sure.
Stephen, just in terms of, because I want to go now, just in terms of recording, just to make sure it's not me recording, and just to make sure we're both recording, I'm just going to pause mine, and will you see if...
Right now, I'm still recording.
You're still recording? Okay.
Yeah.
So I can go and you'll continue recording.
And I only saw a little bit of glitch when Paul was reading, but it worked for what he was doing. So that's the only time I saw the pause and the Zoom. So
Okay.
I don't think
I'll upload it to a Google Drive so that you can have it if you find something when you're editing.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much. It was a great afternoon. Thank you, everybody.
Lovely to see you.
Great job.
Great job. Great
See you
job.
next time. Thank you.
Great job.
Bye.
Right on the money.
Tasman, I was just thinking of something. If you would like this, I could pull all of your episodes out of the play reading monthly thing and put it as one video if you ever wanted to show something.
Wow, that would be so wonderful. That would be so kind of you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh wow, that would be, and I'll just watch it again and again. There's so many. There was a full read of one of my other plays called "It's Cracked Open." Oh my god, that was so amazing, and I just keep watching it.
I'm still going to.
And I will watch you as well.
I'm still going to include this episode in this version of our meeting, but I can still separate them out just if you want it as one piece.
You are in charge.
Okay.
And you have offered this. I am grateful. Thank you.
Great.
Definitely. Yeah. And I will just watch all these lovely people just saying these words, and I'll be like, oh, she's so good. Oh, he's so good.
So what are you bringing in next month?
The pressure is on. Should I go for something less serious? I don't know.
Wait a minute. Less serious?
Bring back this filthy hens and stinging nettles
You
play.
think you do you know what?
Please.
Should we give it another whirl, Zev? Oh, thank you. You're so
It was
kind.
wonderful. The only critique that I agreed with those, can I tell them briefly my perspective of what happened?
If you just tell them what you thought of the play.
Yes, because
But I
emailed
don't
you.
know. I don't know whether I'm gonna. I don't know.
Tasman wrote this wonderful play, and she invited me to come see it virtually out of the goodness of her heart because I was so excited. There was a psychopath in it, and I wanted to see someone else do the work. And it starts out at a funeral, and I was like, what drama? You have to totally email me. I went. It was marvelous. The costumes, the acting, the backgrounds that they even had for themselves. It was fantastic.
Oh, you're so wonderful.
The
Thanks.
theater company, which I had never met before, ripped her work to shreds. I was shocked. I have never seen
They
an audience
didn't get it. No, they just
react
didn't get
Was
it.
that
poorly.
play reading with friends?
No.
Oh, okay.
This
Okay.
was
They just didn't get it. That
and
was
Tasman
the
and I
point.
talked about it, and I didn't appreciate what they did. I thought it was stupid, but the only critique I agreed with it was it's a bit long. That's all.
It just
And
needs
one
to
of
be a
them
bit
said
shorter.
you made your point and then you kept making it. That I'll agree with, but if you emailed me and asked, Zev, can you, all right, editor, put your money where your mouth is, tell me what to do, I'll go, so, like, I
I
don't know
think
how
you
to
either get
explain
it.
it.
The thing is, with some plays, you either get it or you don't.
And I
You got it.
and I loved it. It was
You got it,
marvelous.
but they didn't get it. So
The
that's
actors
the
did.
key. No, the actors didn't. I don't think the actors got it. It was brilliant acting though, but I don't think they all kind of got it.
I've done that as an actor. I've acted apparently very well in a play I didn't understand at all.
But that's that's by the by. I think you can't hit the nail on the head with everyone, and I think that is a challenging play though. That is one of the challenging plays I've written.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Which
It's a
probably
challenging
indicates
play
I totally
because it's
got it
about
as I watched.
narcissism.
But I just think if you brought it here, you would get, I guess, more supportive feedback because we know you. But if you posted it in chunks, maybe it would have a different, who knows?
I
I just
don't
feel like here
know.
you'd get better feedback.
How
goddammit.
long is it?
It is long. It is
Okay.
long, but yeah,
It clocked
some of
in at
my
like 3
plays are
hours.
longer than it should be.
Is it
But
so it was written as a full length?
oh yeah, it's a
Okay.
full-length play.
Okay.
Yeah, and the challenge was narcissism. And narcissistic people do not change. So where there was this expectation that there would be some remorse at the end, I was like, nah. Narcissistic people do not have remorse, do not have regret. Narcissistic people make the world about them and them only.
And see, that's a point that I've discussed on other groups, is this ideal that your characters have to have an arc, that they have to change. And my reply to that is not everybody changes.
No.
That sometimes
That's it.
sometimes the arc occurs in the audience, not in the
That's a
character.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
But
lot
it
of
is it's such a lot of people like this play. So many people like this play, except for that one occasion. But I don't expect everyone to get it.
Sure.
Because whatever I write, there's always going to be kind of a 50-50, you know, half of the crowd would like it, the other half not so much. And that's an expectation I have. So you just take it on the chin and you just think, well, it didn't work with this crowd, but it worked with so many others. And
And
so many people like the play.
that's another point I make. I think if you, as an artist, if you create or write something that everybody likes, you're doing something wrong. Yeah.
I've always gotten positive feedback on my short scripts, god damn it. Should I feel insulted? No, I was terrified. I'm gonna make it about me for a moment. My first play, I totally thought everyone was gonna hate it. They were gonna say, you're not creative, we totally know what you're doing, you blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No, people loved it. And it was a short script about a ballet dancer who gets fired for turning 40, which is how the industry works. And I examined that a little bit and got positive feedback. And the second theater company, I said, if you guys really want to see it, I'll bring it in, because I had only been an actor up until that point. Fully 80% of the audience was like, this gives me closure, my ballet career ended, blah, 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 and I totally liked her part. Like, really, I did not realize it would make an impact on so many people, and I got asked by 5 different people, is this you? Were you fired because you hit puberty? And I was like, no.
So
My career started when I was 12 in theater, and that's not what happened, but it was a proud moment when they were like, this is so well researched and so well done that you're clearly talking about yourself. And I was like, I wrote this because I was in a bad mood. That's all. So
You know, I learned something. I didn't interrupt you, right, Zeb?
Oh no, I was done. I'm a chatterbox. Go ahead.
I learned something about perception. We had an art gallery, and I was an art dealer for almost 30 years. And it's so interesting how you can have a painting there on display, and you'll have dozens of people come by and look at it, and everyone will have a completely different perception of what that painting is about. And some of the people will just think it's the best thing they've ever seen. They just think it's wonderful. And then some people would say, I would never hang that in my house. You know, and it's really, I mean, it's interesting to see that. All the different takes that people have on art.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the same thing with a theater piece.
Sure.
It has to be the
Yeah.
same. And it's also another interesting thing. Somebody will have a certain color on, like a sky blue or this, and they'll walk into an art gallery and they'll gravitate to paintings that have this color in it.
Oh, how interesting.
So they like that color.
Yeah.
So they find the paintings. It's really it's interesting to watch.
That is
behavior. The behavior of people in an art gallery is one of the most interesting things to observe.
Yeah.
And I would and as I said, I think theater has got to be the same way, or any perception of art, dance or poetry or.
It's so individual, and I think Zev, I think you were talking about the fact that you sat in theaters and cried, and you look around and wonder if anybody else is getting it. And that's kind of the same thing.
Crying, and then they're like, "Are you okay?" And I feel
right.
really
And that's the same thing that that my wife and I have gone through back in the day when we were, of course, able to be going to live theater, and haven't been able to for the last couple of years, and which is sad in itself. But sitting there and looking around at, gosh, I think one of our first plays that we saw out here in Orange County was, oh gosh, what was the name of it? Truth. I don't know if you know
Ooh, I've
the
heard of it. I don't think
like
I'd be
with-
able to sit through it.
wonderful play. And at the end of the first act, I won't spoil it for you, but there's a revelation, a huge revelation. And my wife and I were pretty new to going to theater at that point, but we sat there and we both had just the same exact reaction. We both got the cold chills, and we both just were stunned into motionlessness. And we kind of looked around, the lights came up because it was the end of the first act, and we looked around and everyone's getting up and going out to get their drink or whatever. And we're sitting there going, oh my God, what just happened? and it's the same, it's this kind of thing you're talking about, Paul and Zev. I mean, it's that reaction. And sometimes, yeah, I think sometimes it is just the 5 people in the audience. We have heard that kind of thing mentioned by actors, and it's kind of like, yeah, there's going to be every performance, you're going to have about 5 people in the audience who really get it.
Yeah.
And look around. And the same thing happened, and it's interesting. It was another production at South Coast Repertory here in Orange County, and Zev, you'll appreciate this because it was a play called The Studio, and it was written by Christopher Dambois, who is a ballet dancer, teacher, and his sister also, I believe. The whole family, their father was a very famous ballet teacher and impresario.
Oh my God.
And it was just a remarkable play. And I was too naive at the time to really get the full impact until later. But my wife's, same thing, at the end of the play, lights come up and she's just crying and everybody's leaving. And we look around and there's another woman a few rows up in the dead center of the theater, just sitting there bawling her eyes. But everyone else is just going about their business, leaving, and oh my gosh, let's go get drinks, let's go get dessert, let's go, whatever.
Everybody's
It is sometimes that focused.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. I was just going to say the message is so different, isn't it? You can watch the same play and you walk out with different messages. It means so many different things, and so many different lines just jump out at you, and they kind of resonate with you, don't they? So I think that's
Excuse me, I'm going to have to leave. We're having a storm here. It's been
I hope you stay safe. Thank you so much, Sandy. You were absolutely brilliant. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Take care, Sandy.
Maybe I'll see you next time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, hope so.
Okay.
Fingers crossed, hope so.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, my wife and daughter told me about, they were in a small theater in New York. They were watching Some Like It Hot. And they realized during the movie, they were the only people in the theater laughing.
Oh, wow.
And they couldn't understand it. They were like looking around.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Such a good movie.
Yes.
It's classic. It's
The
brilliant.
actors in that were terrific, and the way the movie was actually introduced to me, I was a teenager, and my friend said, "Come over to my house for a sleepover. We'll watch it." Okay, she said the last line makes it all worth it.
Oh,
And I was
yes.
going, okay, and then the last line happened, and I couldn't applause, and that's how I've introduced it to other people, and they're like, "No, what's this about?" Well, they're on the run from the mafia, and they blah blah blah, and they're going, "What?" And it's comedy, I promise. And then they watching it. Okay.
What's the last line? I don't care, something like that.
Oh, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, last line. Nobody.
That's it.
Well,
Love
thank
that.
everybody from coming. I guess I have to start a barbecue, I think now.
Sounds good.
I'll be doing the editing.
Thank you so much. You're very kind, Stephen, and thank you for everything. Everything.
I enjoy
Brilliant.
this, and
And
it's
thank
given
you all
me
actors.
it's giving me some really good opportunities as far as writing. So yeah.
Get to the Oscars and the red carpet.
Thank you
Fingers
for being
crossed.
patient with me. For what it's worth, I got a private message from someone going, "Are you okay?" And I thought I heard my name said, "You guys, I was reapplying my makeup so I could find my emotional center. Just Yeah. Which is probably the most actor said
You're
thing
just
ever.
a great actor.
Oh, I was
Admit it.
weeping, and you probably thought I was having a breakdown. I wasn't. I was wiping my eyes, going, "God damn it, this is smearing my makeup."
And Zep, I was concerned that maybe there was something like some personal experience that you were reliving or something. I was going, uh-oh, I probably should have warned
I'm
people.
such a chatterbox that I would have said that. No, it was just, it's the grief afterward that gets me, and I remember thinking I don't want to go on with, like, my eyes are going to be red. I want my makeup to, like, I wanted to be like, okay, I'm better, but, you know, afterward I'm just going to drink some tea, and I'm going to write a play about someone who doesn't fucking cry at funerals. So, like, that's going to be my personal experience, and people are going to be like, you goddamn sociopath, why did you write this? I am the person I wrote about.
Funny. You are funny.
Well, bring it in.
I might have to, and people, it's gonna, you know, maybe it'll shatter the impression you have of me. Maybe it'll reaffirm the impression you have of me, because I like playing psychopathic roles. But my problem, because I've tried to write this play multiple times, is it's really gonna depend on the actor, because it's her parents' funeral, and she can't stop laughing, and I don't want the role to be played as a psychopath, and I don't want people to laugh. She's laughing because she never thought she would outlive them, and she hasn't slept in 3 days because she's so shocked. Her world is turned upside down, and I don't want to give an actor that note, but I'm going to have to. Like, I'm going to be such a jackass if I can pull this
Sounds
off.
intriguing.
And on another note, I'm writing a different play that is going to have to involve Hebrew speakers in it. And all I can think of is, God damn it, I'm going to have to act in one of my plays. I don't like acting in my own plays, and nobody's going to get it because they're not Jewish and they blah, blah, blah. Like, how about I just be quiet and maybe people will relate to it and I can just chill my bones.
Sure. Just write it.
Yeah. I'm very conflicted. I don't want them, my whole thing is, I want them to agree with the character that I like. I don't want them to agree with the older sister. But who knows? Maybe someone out there will be like, I am that younger sister, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Good.
There's a role for everyone.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you so much.
Usually
Thank
I'm
you.
fine with suicide.
Okay.
There's a different way I could have phrased that.
Bye.